right, you heard from Bismarck earlier. The stock market finished the first half of the year, 13.61 trillion, July to December last year. Then we have the first 6 months of the year, the market finishing 13.87 trillion naira. That's just about 1.91% on the uptick. Not a very sweet time, as it were, when we're done with the first quarter, first quarter of the year on the equity side. But what's the playbook? What should be the playbook for 2018, second half of the year? Let's get Johnson Chukwu, the CEO at Cowry Assets Management, to talk to us. He's also a chartered stockbroker. Johnson, good morning. It's good to have you on the program. Thank you for coming through.
Good morning. My pleasure.
Great to have you here. Not a great time in the first half for the stock market. Yes or no?
Well, yes. To the extent that the market almost closed flat at the end of the first half of the year, at only 0.09% at the end of the first half of the year. So that wasn't quite impressive, given what we recorded the preceding year.
What are the high points of the first half for you?
Well, the high point of the first half is that we saw a market rally that started very strongly in January, and subsequently the market couldn't sustain that market gain that we recorded in January. You saw a situation where political activities seemed to outweigh the optimistic economic outlook that people had at the beginning of the year. So we also saw a pullback by foreign portfolio investors in the first half of the year. So those factors actually contributed negatively to the market performance in the first half of the year.
What are some of the expectations that you thought will come through in the first half that we didn't see? Do you think some of this from the fiscal side or from the market itself, from listed companies?
Well, there are multiple factors. Let's start from the listed companies. We saw a mix of earnings in the first quarter of the year. Most of the business operators in the country are listed, have their year end in December. So by the end of March, we saw the results of and declaration of benefits. A number of those institutions did not meet up with the expectations of investors. So investors couldn't sustain their holding on some of those equities. That's one factor. The second factor is that we actually thought the budget could be assigned much earlier than it did. It was signed in June, and the liquidity injection we expected from the fiscal side did not materialize. One was also expected that on the monetary side, we would see a loosening of interest rates or monetary policy rates. That didn't happen in the first half of the year. Then, from the exogenous factor, the external factor, we saw interest rate corrections by the U.S. Federal Reserve that led to pullback of foreign portfolio investors out of the country, or out of not just the country, out of emerging markets. These factors are factors that one did not so much expect will happen in the first half of the year. Added to the fast tracking of the political activities by the major political party, the Congress of the ruling party that was acrimonious at the initial stage, which led to increase in the political uncertainty in the country.
From the fiscal side, what are your expectations in the second half? Do you think there's anything on key economic data, oil production, fiscal spending, on CAPEX, on social investment program, where you think there will be a little bit of money, funds that folks could say, look, I want to buy equities direct, I want to do mutual funds, I think I need to buy, put some money investments, whether it's in my retirement or pension accounts?
Well, I think the first thing that will happen on the fiscal side that we should see some aggressive release of capital expenditure budget. At the 2.87 trillion, in the government's enlightened interest to aggressively release the amount for capital expenditure, given that this is a pre-election year, and the government needs to make some statements on infrastructure development before the election in February. That's on one side. So I think that should lead to some improvement in liquidity in the money market, which should lead to situations where investors will have the liquidity to take positions. But interestingly, because we're moving towards an election period, investors are going to play safe, So I think most of the investment would rather go, instead of going to equity, would rather go into fixed income instruments. Investors ordinarily at periods of heightened political risk will actually switch from variable income assets to fixed income assets. So I expect a lot more interest in fixed income instruments in the second half of the year.
The government has talked about some plans, still a little bit vague, about selling down some assets, some privatizations. Are you looking to any of these as a major flip for the equities?
Well, I doubt if any of those things can come to pass before the end of the year. If you recall, the process of privatizing government assets is a little bit cumbersome. You have to appoint the privatization advisors. You have to advertise them. They have to meet the government regulatory requirements. And I do not think that we have instances where advisors have been appointed. So if that is not the case, I think by the time we move towards the last quarter of this year, it might be too late for any meaningful privatization to take place this year. I think if those privatizations are going to take place, they will take place next year. I doubt the capacity of government in a pre-election period of this nature, a few months to the party primaries, to have a successful privatization of the companies of the assets they have mentioned.